But what Spotify did was,
I mean, they only host our podcast.
They do,
right?
and actually that's what I want to talk about today. Right. So I think in the beginning of the year, we've seen Spotify grow and recent earnings calls, actually, they missed earnings by a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, but the stock still rallied. And that's because they've seen big gains in the advertising space. And what they're doing here is they're moving towards just from music to other things. For example, podcasts, right? They're moving into podcasts. They don't see themselves as a music company. They see themselves as an audio company. At least that's what the CEO quoted, right? Quote unquote, at this point in time. But what they are looking at here is ads. And one thing that we're realizing is that ads in podcasts give them a good revenue stream. And this is what they're looking to grow. I think one thing else is videos, right? Now, how many times have you gone into Spotify, looked at a song, and want the lyrics? And before you know it, actually the lyrics are there. You just got to go into it. Now, one thing that we're realizing is that it's not Spotify telling the artists, hey, put up your video. It's the artist telling Spotify, can I also upload my video with the song? So that if someone wants to listen to it, I can. And what they can and view it. So what this could actually do is pivot towards more advertising space. Think of it like a YouTube. You watch an ad before watching the video. So Spotify could be pivoting towards that as well to get more ad spend. And that's the way that I believe they see it. And the new effective Spotify moving forward. What's your take on this, Anthony?
That's interesting, actually. I was wondering, and I wonder if you know as well. In terms, I mean, sorry, my experience with Spotify is I'm a free customer, right? I listen to the ad for half an hour free, whatever. Recently I'm premium now with my wife, but for a very long time I was a free customer that listened to ads, and those ads were terribly ineffective. Never clicked on a single one of them. So yeah, I'm just wondering how do they do this, podcast ads, right? Because obviously the podcasts themselves will have their own ads. So is Spotify layering theirs on as well, or how is it going to work? And I guess a part of my concern is the listening experience, right? Because if there's very little control, then you could just get inundated with ads, like how I just have no patience for a lot of YouTube nowadays. So yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a great revenue stream, definitely, but sooner or later it comes at the expense of product, which is important, even if it's free. I'm just wondering, have we reached a balance yet, or do we know roughly?
Yes, so I think that's definitely one thing they're looking at. Right, I don't see a concrete plan. I've not read a concrete plan. So any of you coconuts out there that have a concrete plan and have some comments, please go ahead and put that in Telegram group. Love to do more. If you want, we can actually do a stock geek out on that on Spotify and where it's going to go. But I think one thing to note here is that they are on pace to hit $1 billion in terms of revenue this year, which is really, really good. 1 billion, right? And the CEO mentioned that actually the market and the target is 18 billion. That's 18x if they close the revenue this year. That's a lot of money coming in through ads. Now, whether that be through videos, whether that be through audio, like, for example, what Anthony was doing during the free spiel when he was on Spotify free and listening to ads, that's really needless to say. But one thing that we do know is that YouTube makes most of its money, and Google knows that video adverts are much higher in cost than audio adverts. So I can definitely see that pivot from audio to video, especially if there is already supply side pull from the artists wanting to put their videos on Spotify. So I think that's really interesting. I think Spotify is looking to pivot. And, some of these big companies, if you look at Netflix, you look at Spotify now, they are pivoting, right? Netflix first started out as it's effectively a logistics company, passing CDs back and forth, DVDs back and forth, and look where they are now. And I see Spotify going to the same way. I myself am not invested in Spotify, so I need to say this, but I'm genuinely looking at it as a possible viable option.
Definitely. I mean, I was looking at it, I think a few months back, and it was 240. I was like, no, let's wait a bit. Let's see how it goes. And it's 300 now, so kicking myself slightly. But, I mean, besides the price, just in terms of the business, I think this really feels like a culmination of years of effort, right? I mean, look, they bought the Joe Rogan show. I think it must be years back now, for a few billion. And people are like, this is crazy. You put it behind a paywall. Why? But
absolutely.
that's part of the strategy, right? You get all your podcasts on, you make it a viable product, and you sell ads on it. Similarly, they try to empower creators, paid license fees to labels, yes, but then artists recognize using Spotify as a go-to-market strategy, right? And that leads to artists wanting to do more with Spotify, paying to get on playlists, which should be illegal. Putting videos on, putting lyrics on, driving engagement through Spotify rather than through their record labels, like Universal, which Chung and I have long conversations about. So yeah, look, I think. And this to me is a tick for management, right? They had a strategy. We didn't know about it. We were like,
in all fairness, I was saying that, like, podcast, why are you spending so much money on it?
Paying money to labels.
That is in this space. It's massive in this space. What are you doing? Yeah. Why are you spending money? How much more music are you going to put on? And how much more can you actually grow? That was the questions that I was posing at the start of this year.
Exactly, right? And ta-da! Now we know, right? So I think definitely a tick on management. You can have some faith in this team, I think. And that is another tick. If you're looking to invest in a company and its business, it looks as if it's about to take fruit, and management looks as if they know how to execute. So why not? I mean, it's slightly expensive, price to sales, all that ratios are high, but what isn't high right now?